the 5 best beverages to naturally break down kidney stones and clear them from your system quickly once you reach your 60s. Medical professionals often categorize kidney stones as among the most agonizing physical trials a human being can endure. Those who have survived them equate the agony to giving birth, to being endlessly punctured in the abdomen, or to enduring a torment so severe it forces fully grown adults into the emergency room weeping. You cannot stand up. Catching your breath becomes nearly impossible, and your mind can focus on absolutely nothing else but finding relief. Yet there is a crucial piece of information that folks who have endured a stone, or those terrified of ever getting one, rarely hear from their physician. Specific beverages are clinically proven to actively break down the exact mineral deposits that create kidney stones, destroying them long before they get big enough to trigger any discomfort. Furthermore, particular liquids can stop new stones from developing if you have already been a victim in the past. We are not talking about prescription drugs or costly medical interventions. We are talking about drinks. Basic, everyday liquids you can mix up right in your own kitchen every morning, which tirelessly defend your kidneys around the clock to wash away the crystalline buildup that turns into stones. Once you pass the age of 60, your vulnerability to developing kidney stones shoots up dramatically. Your urine naturally grows more highly concentrated, while your kidneys lose some of their youthful efficiency in clearing out mineral deposits. Dehydration also strikes older adults much more frequently because our natural thirst signals fade as we age. This lack of fluids produces the exact heavily concentrated urinary conditions, where stones multiply the quickest. Add in the typical dietary habits of many older individuals: excess salt, heavy animal proteins, and not drinking enough liquids, and you have the perfect storm for accelerated stone growth. Welcome to Dr. Clara Bennett. Today I will reveal the top 5 beverages to naturally dissolve kidney stones and sweep them out rapidly, all handpicked and backed by research specifically for men and women over 60. Every single drink on this list operates through a unique biological pathway. When combined, they build an impenetrable daily defense routine that attacks kidney stone development at every possible phase. Make sure you stick around for the very end, because the 5th drink on our list boasts more clinical data for preventing kidney stones than any other natural remedy ever investigated. Oddly enough, the vast majority of older adults have never even thought about consuming it for this specific reason. If your goal is to guarantee you never suffer through a past kidney stone ordeal ever again, or if you simply want to ensure you never feel that agony in the first place, you need to hear this. Let us dive in, but before we get to the beverages, give me just 90 seconds to explain what kidney stones truly are. Grasping how they form will make the science behind these drinks incredibly clear. These painful masses materialize when standard salts and minerals, which usually float harmlessly dissolved in your urine, reach such high concentrations that they start to form crystals right inside the kidney. The most frequent culprits, making up roughly 80% of all cases, are known as calcium oxalate stones. These develop when urinary calcium and oxalate merge and harden into crystals. The runner-up is the uric acid stone, which takes shape when your urine turns overly acidic, causing uric acid, which is just a leftover waste product from breaking down proteins, to solidify. Tiny crystalline fragments can exit through your urinary system completely unnoticed. However, if those crystals expand, or if several of them stick together, they build a mass bulky enough to lodge itself inside the ureter. That is the very slender pathway linking your kidney down to your bladder, and a blockage there is the exact moment the nightmare-level pain kicks in. Every beverage we will discuss today zeroes in on at least one of these exact triggers. They either lower the mineral counts that build the stones, boost the elements that block crystallization, neutralize urine acidity, or just drastically increase your fluid output to wash those crystals away before they become a threat. Drink number 1. Freshly squeezed lemon water. And I am not just giving you generic advice for healthy kidneys here. This is actually one of the most rigorously studied natural treatments for stopping and dissolving stones in existence, all thanks to the citrate mechanism. Out of all the fruits we regularly eat, lemons pack the highest concentration of dietary citric acid. The moment you consume fresh lemon water, your system metabolizes that citric acid directly into citrate. In the realm of medical science, citrate is widely recognized as the single most potent natural defender against kidney stone creation. Let me explain exactly how citrate behaves once it enters your kidneys. Calcium oxalate stones happen because urinary calcium and oxalate ions are drawn together like magnets, eventually crystallizing. Citrate completely derails this chemical reaction. It physically attaches itself to the calcium ions directly, enveloping them and entirely blocking them from ever connecting with the oxalate. What results is a highly soluble calcium citrate combination. It remains in a liquid state inside your urine and is effortlessly cleared out of your body instead of solidifying into a rock. But citrate works even greater wonders on tiny, already existing stones. It literally coats the outer shell of any calcium oxalate crystals that have started to take shape, serving as a shield that stops any more calcium and oxalate from piling on. In short, it locks those miniature crystals at their current size, allowing your normal urinary flow to sweep them away before they can expand into an agonizing obstruction. A major clinical trial featured in the Journal of Urology tracked individuals prone to chronic kidney stones. These patients consumed fresh lemon juice every single day for an average of 44 months. The results were staggering. The rate at which they developed new stones plummeted from an average of 1.0 stones per person each year down to just 0.13. That is an 87% decrease. The scientists heading the study determined that this simple lemon juice regimen worked just as well as potassium citrate medication, which is the standard pharmaceutical drug prescribed for chronic stones, except the lemons came with zero negative side effects and a fraction of the cost. For those of us over 60 specifically, fresh lemon water directly attacks the issue of heavily concentrated urine that so often drives stone formation. The hydration from the water dilutes risky minerals. The citrate stops the crystallization process in its tracks, and the natural vitamin C boosts the overall health of your kidney tissues simultaneously. 3 powerful layers of protection from one basic morning beverage. Here is how to make it. Squeeze the juice of 2 whole, fresh lemons into 32 ounces of water, which is just about 1 liter. Sip on this mixture gradually throughout your morning routine. The clinical studies backing this prevention method utilized around 4 ounces of fresh lemon juice per day, which equals the yield of roughly 2 standard lemons. Make sure you use fresh lemons only. Pre-bottled lemon juice sitting on store shelves has significantly lower citrate levels and is usually packed with artificial preservatives that just force your kidneys to work harder. Do not add sugar. Sugar spikes the amount of calcium your body expels into your urine, directly supplying more fuel for stones to form and utterly ruining the benefits of the citrate. If you absolutely must sweeten it, a tiny dab of raw honey is acceptable. Beverage number 2, unsweetened pomegranate juice. Most folks never associate this particular drink with kidney stones, yet the scientific backing behind it, especially for preventing uric acid stones, is absolutely phenomenal. Here is how pomegranate juice dissolves uric acid stones. Despite having a slightly tart flavor, pomegranate juice is actually one of the most alkaline-producing foods you can consume. Once your body processes it, it drives your urinary pH up, making your urine much less acidic. This is a massive deal when we are talking about uric acid kidney stones, which only thrive in highly acidic environments. When your urinary pH falls below 5.5, uric acid stops dissolving and starts turning into solid crystals. Conversely, when that pH level climbs above 6.0, uric acid becomes soluble once more. This means that uric acid crystals that have already formed can literally dissolve right back into your urine to be safely flushed away. This is the exact pathway pomegranate juice uses to actively destroy uric acid stones. By lifting your urinary pH into a zone where the uric acid simply cannot hold its crystalline shape. Pomegranate juice is also packed with incredibly high levels of punicalagins and ellagic acid. These are two potent antioxidants that actually lower the amount of uric acid your body produces by blocking an enzyme known as xanthine oxidase. Less uric acid being generated naturally means less of it floating around to form stones. A research paper featured in the Journal of Medicinal Food discovered that pomegranate extract drastically lowered the urinary levels of oxalate, phosphate, and uric acid in test subjects. Those happen to be the three main building blocks for the two most prevalent kinds of kidney stones, all reduced at the exact same time. The scientists highlighted this unique blend of alkalizing, antioxidant, and enzyme-blocking traits as an exceptionally complete defense against stone formation. Furthermore, pomegranate juice brings down kidney inflammation, which is vital if you have recently passed a stone. Pushing a stone through your system traumatizes and inflames the ureter and surrounding kidney tissues, creating a hotbed where new crystals can form with ease. The anti-inflammatory power of pomegranate helps heal and restore normal tissue function after a stone exits, dropping the chances of the rapid relapse that plagues so many older adults. Here's how to use it. Drink 4 to 8 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice every day. You can take it all at once first thing in the morning or split it into 2 smaller glasses. Always ensure you are buying 100% pomegranate juice. No added sugars, no added water, and no cheap filler juices mixed in. Turn the bottle around. The ingredient list should say one thing: pomegranate juice. The sweetened varieties will spike your blood sugar and introduce elements that completely cancel out all the stone-preventing advantages. Before we discuss beverage number 4, if this breakdown is providing you with actionable ways to fight kidney stones that your medical provider never brought up, please hit the subscribe button for Dr. Clara Bennett right now and leave a comment down below. Have you ever suffered through a kidney stone? Share your story with me. I read every single comment. Beverage number 3, nettle leaf tea. We discussed nettle leaf previously in our creatinine video because of its excellent kidney flushing diuretic abilities. But when we look at kidney stones specifically, this tea boasts extra mechanisms that make it incredibly precious. Here is how nettle leaf tea fights and flushes stones. Nettle leaf stands as one of nature's strongest diuretics. It drastically ramps up both the volume and the speed of your urine flow, but it does so without stripping your body of vital electrolytes like pharmaceutical water pills often do. Boosting urine output is the primary, most essential step in preventing stones. When your urine moves faster and in larger quantities, minerals simply do not have the time to pool together and crystallize. Any microscopic crystals that have started to form get washed right through your urinary tract long before they can grow big enough to create a blockage. Nettle leaf also carries natural elements that lower the amount of calcium dumped into your urine, which directly cuts down the raw materials available to build calcium oxalate stones. Dropping your urinary calcium while simultaneously raising your urine volume creates an environment that is incredibly hostile to stone formation. On top of that, nettle leaf provides a solid dose of magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that blocks calcium oxalate crystals from forming through a process very similar to citrate. The magnesium basically fights the oxalate to bind with the calcium, effectively stopping the calcium oxalate pairing that creates the most widespread type of stone. Research printed in Phytotherapy Research noted that giving subjects nettle leaf extract significantly boosted their urine production, dropped their urinary calcium concentration, and lowered their urinary oxalate levels. It tackled all 3 major risk factors for calcium oxalate stones at the exact same time. For those over 60 who are dealing with sluggish urine output, which is a very typical age-related issue that allows stone-building minerals to concentrate, nettle leaf tea offers a gentle, safe, and highly effective method to get that urine volume back up. It keeps your kidneys constantly flushed without the electrolyte dangers associated with prescription diuretics. How to prepare it? Steep 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried nettle leaf, or a single nettle tea bag, in 8 ounces of hot water for about 10 minutes. Enjoy 1 or 2 cups of this every day. The flavor is quite mild and slightly grassy, somewhat reminiscent of green tea. If you squeeze some fresh lemon juice into it, you combine the citrate shield of our first drink with the diuretic flushing power of the nettle leaf, all in one mug. That is an exceptionally potent duo for older adults actively trying to manage their kidney stone risks. Beverage number 4, dandelion root tea. We have highlighted this drink in our previous videos covering creatinine and morning routines, but its unique ability to ward off kidney stones demands its own dedicated spotlight. That is because its mechanism of action is entirely different from anything else we have discussed today. Here is how dandelion root tea defends against stones. The root of the dandelion holds a specific compound known as taraxacin. Its primary job is to trigger the liver and gallbladder to produce and release more bile. Why does this matter for your kidneys? Because increased bile flow directly enhances how your digestive tract absorbs fats. When your body digests dietary fats more efficiently, it significantly decreases the amount of free-floating oxalate that eventually makes its way into your urinary system. Let me break down exactly how this sequence happens. If the fats in your diet are not absorbed correctly in your gut, they latch onto the calcium present in your intestines. Because the unabsorbed fat is hogging all that calcium, there is not enough left to bind with the dietary oxalate. Consequently, that unbound, free oxalate gets absorbed straight into your bloodstream. It travels directly to your kidneys, where it meets up with urinary calcium and solidifies into calcium oxalate stones. Dandelion root steps in by boosting bile and fixing that fat absorption. This frees up the intestinal calcium so it can properly bind to the oxalate in your gut, drastically lowering the amount of rogue oxalate that ever reaches your kidneys. It cuts off one of the 2 main ingredients for the most common type of stone at the source. Just like nettle leaf, dandelion root also acts as a formidable diuretic, ramping up urine flow to continually wash away mineral accumulations. Plus, it naturally contains potassium, which helps replenish any potassium you might lose through extra urination. This makes it a significantly safer diuretic option for older adults compared to many over-the-counter alternatives. The Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine published a study verifying dandelion extract's strong diuretic capabilities. They specifically highlighted this unique pathway of lowering urinary oxalate by improving fat digestion. The researchers noted it is incredibly beneficial for seniors who naturally experience age-related fat absorption changes, while simultaneously battling high oxalate levels. How do you prepare it? Take loose dried dandelion root or a standard tea bag and let it steep in 8 ounces of hot water for 10 to 15 minutes. The longer you let it sit, the more of that beneficial taraxacin you pull out. It has a deep, rich, earthy flavor that actually reminds a lot of people of a mild coffee. 1 to 2 cups a day offers substantial protection against stones. Try pairing it with your morning lemon water to build a rock-solid, comprehensive kidney defense routine right at the start of your day. Beverage number 5, plain water. As I told you at the very beginning of this video, plain old water actually has more clinical data proving its power against kidney stones than any other natural remedy ever evaluated. I realize that saying, "drink water" sounds way too obvious to be the ultimate stone-preventing beverage, but the scientific proof is absolutely undeniable. Furthermore, the way the vast majority of adults over 60 consume water is completely backwards when it comes to stopping stones. Here is why water is your ultimate defender. Every solitary research study conducted on kidney stone prevention comes to the exact same verdict: the single most powerful intervention you can make, beating out any prescription drug, any supplement, or any dietary tweak is drinking enough fluids to generate at least 2 liters of urine every single day. When you hit that benchmark for urine output, those dangerous minerals are watered down to concentrations that are far too weak to ever crystallize, regardless of what you ate that day. A massive landmark clinical trial showcased in the New England Journal of Medicine monitored 99 patients with a history of chronic kidney stones over 5 years. Half of the group was instructed to drink enough water to ensure 2 liters of daily urine production. The other half received no specific fluid guidelines at all. At the 5-year mark, the group pushing fluids saw a recurrence rate of just 12%. The group that didn't drink extra water had a recurrence rate of 27%, more than double. The scientists finalized their report by stating that proper hydration all by itself outperformed any standalone medication they studied for preventing stone recurrence. For folks over 60, getting properly hydrated is uniquely difficult for 3 distinct reasons that must be tackled head-on. First, your natural sensation of thirst fades significantly as you age. Most seniors will not even feel thirsty despite being genuinely dehydrated. By the time your brain finally sends a thirst signal, your body is already severely parched, and your urine is already dense enough to start forming crystals. Second, many older adults purposely restrict drinking liquids later in the day to prevent waking up constantly at night to use the restroom. It is a completely understandable choice, but sadly, it creates that dense, highly concentrated urine environment where stones multiply incredibly fast during those overnight hours. Third, common medications prescribed to seniors, including water pills, certain blood pressure meds, and specific diabetes drugs, actually accelerate fluid loss, meaning you have to drink even more just to stay safely hydrated. Here is how to drink water the right way to prevent stones. Your objective should not be an arbitrary number of glasses. Your true goal is to ensure your urine stays pale yellow or completely clear throughout the entire day. If your urine turns a dark yellow at any moment, it means your kidneys are currently pooling minerals at stone-forming concentrations right then and there. The smartest strategy for seniors is to drink on a set schedule, rather than waiting until you feel parched. Set a reminder for every hour you are awake. Force yourself to drink 6 to 8 ounces every time it goes off, regardless of whether you feel like you need a drink or not. This guarantees a steady, non-stop flow of urine all day long, continuously sweeping away minerals before they have a chance to clump together. Toss a fresh lemon slice into every single glass. This merges the basic hydration of the water with the powerful citrate shield we talked about in drink number 1. That one simple addition transforms a passive glass of water into an active, stone-destroying medicine with every single sip. To manage the nighttime bathroom issue, do not just cut off all liquids after dinner. Instead, finish your last full glass of water right at 7:09 p.m. After that, only sip on the small serving of warm lemon water with a touch of honey that we outlined in our evening drinks video right before bed. This provides just enough hydration to stop overnight stones from forming without significantly increasing your trips to the bathroom while you try to sleep. So there you have it. The top 5 beverages to naturally break down kidney stones and flush them out of your system fast once you hit your 60s. Freshly squeezed lemon water, which supplies the citrate that suffocates calcium ions and stops them from binding with oxalate. It is the most heavily researched natural stone inhibitor available, proven to drop recurrence rates by up to 87%. Unsweetened pomegranate juice, which elevates your urinary pH to melt down existing uric acid crystals while blocking the enzymes that produce uric acid to begin with, simultaneously dropping the dangerous oxalate and phosphate levels that fuel all major stone types. Nettle leaf tea, which radically boosts your urine output to keep things continuously flowing, lowers urinary calcium concentrations, and provides magnesium that actively fights off oxalate for calcium binding. Dandelion root tea, which improves fat absorption to cut down the amount of free urinary oxalate via a unique bile-stimulating pathway, all while serving as a safe, potassium-rich, diuretic flush tailored perfectly for older adults. And plain water, the undisputed, most research-backed stone prevention tool in existence, outperforming medications when you consume enough to maintain steady urine flow all day long, especially with fresh lemon added to every glass. Here is your new daily kidney stone defense routine, starting tomorrow. In the morning, squeeze 2 whole lemons into 32 ounces of water. Sip on that throughout your morning. Later in the morning, enjoy 1 mug of nettle leaf tea with a squeeze of lemon. At lunchtime, drink 4 ounces of pure unsweetened pomegranate juice. In the afternoon, brew a cup of dandelion root tea. Throughout your entire day, remember to drink 1 glass of lemon water every single hour until 7 p.m. Finally, in the evening, have a small glass of warm lemon water with honey right before bed. If you follow this routine consistently, you will build a urinary environment where kidney stones literally cannot survive. The minerals that want to harden will remain completely dissolved. Any crystals that have already started growing will melt right back into liquid, and every bit of it will be safely flushed out of your kidneys before it ever becomes a painful problem. If you have suffered through kidney stones in the past, begin this regimen tomorrow. If you have been lucky enough to never have one, begin this regimen tomorrow. Stopping them before they start is infinitely less agonizing than trying to treat them. Please share this video with anyone in your life who has battled kidney stones or is at high risk, and make sure to subscribe to Dr. Clara Bennett for new vital kidney health strategies every single week. I will see you in the next video.